This session, let's talk about forgiveness. Forgiveness is not for the other person. Forgiveness is for you. Remember, Gandhi said, the inability to forgive is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. I think sometimes when we think about forgiveness, it feels like we're allowing the other person to get away with something or to let them off the hook. All of those are valid feelings, but they're feelings that sometimes keeps us trapped in the destruction of the inability to forgive. Forgiving for me has to do with first understanding and then taking the responsibility for your position in the situation, your part in the situation. Because we all have that. If we are involved in a relationship, if we are involved in a conversation, we are responsible for our part in it. And if we're not stuck in attempting to point blame or figure out who's right or who is wrong, then I think it's easier if we're able to take on the responsibility of our parts in it. So, just for a matter of this conversation, let me just look at you and let's talk about what that looks like for you. If you're in a situation where you feel as if someone has said or done something to you that caused you some kind of an emotional pain, and maybe even sometimes some physical pain, then one of the first things I think you want to do is you want to decide how valuable that relationship is. Because I think it's important that we first understand, become aware what the value of a relationship is before we decide whether it's worth keeping or it's not worth keeping. And if we are able to get to an emotional place where we are rational, i.e., we are controlling the emotions of the situation and the emotions are not controlling us, then we have a better chance of assessing the value of that relationship. I think it's very difficult to honestly and openly and genuinely forgive someone if you have not decided how valuable that person is or that relationship is. And I do think it's something that we should do according to all our relationship. And I think it's also easier to do if we have a very clear and clean and healthy sense of self and a healthy self esteem, self value, self worth, all of those things that make us more amped to understand what balance looks like in our own lives, what healthy looks like in our own lives, and then can begin to decide what our relationships looks like overall. Because when you are thinking, believing, understanding, desiring to forgive someone, you want to first be able to clearly look at what your responsibilities were in that particular relationship and or situation. Forgiveness. It is what keeps you healthy, fit, fierce, and over 50. Greetings. This is Colina with a public service announcement. In every county in Georgia, there is a Community Service Board, CSBs. The Community Service Boards are there to support the residents of the counties as it relates to mental health care, medical health care, and dental care. And they also provide a variety of other services. And it's a very good resource center also. The Community Service Board, CSBs. This is a public service announcement. Fit, fierce, over 50.